Hi, I'm Tara Yarberry, and this is Behavior Bits. I wanted to talk today about the competing pathways. So you might have heard this in behavior land. It talks about certain setting events, antecedents, problem behaviors, and consequences that have a maintaining consequence of, let's go with work avoidance for this example. And so when we look at that pattern with someone, things that set them up, maybe if they haven't eaten breakfast that day, and then they are in math and they have the task demand of doing some sort of work, and they tear up the math worksheet, and they now have we've done this enough that we see a pattern might be emerging, and we think, okay, maybe what's going on here is that this student is exhibiting some avoidance behavior, some escape behavior, and so we want to make a plan around that, right? So we'll start with that plan by first laying that all out, right? Looking at what is going on and what we think the functional hypothesis is. And then we're going to shift into seeing and observing this idyllic student that we're looking for, this desired behavior of, student comes in, they say hello, they do what they're supposed to do. When we present them with a task demand, they, politely say, I need a break instead of doing that, or something along those lines. They just do it, right? That's actually really the desired, is they do that task demand, and then the consequence is that they're getting good grades because they're turning things in and they're understanding the concept, and there's comprehension. That's our ideal. So my work doesn't work as much in either that first existing ABCs that we did where we saw the avoidance. It also doesn't live in the desired behavior that I know is what so many of us, are striving for, because we see the long-term gains that it has for our learners. We see how students really benefit from so many of the things that we're trying to teach them in education, right? My land that I live in is something that's also inappropriate. We kind of call this like path down here in the competing pathways. Something that's also inappropriate, but is slightly more appropriate. So maybe instead of tearing up that worksheet, we're going to shoot for just turn it over. Let's just turn over the worksheet. You're still not doing work, right? We're still not meeting that little tickle of desired behavior that we as staff want to see in a student. But it's not ripping up the paper, and he still, or she still gets out of this work avoidance, right? Of this work. So they're still able to escape. So my job, in a nutshell, is having conversations with adults about, I see you want this desired student. I see that this is what they're doing. So what's the thing that we can teach them that's still inappropriate and not what you want, but that we can reward because it's at least a step closer to that desired behavior? Think on it.